Hi guys, and welcome back to another fly tying tutorial. So we continue with the Orkney series. The fly in the vise is an olive emerging half hog. Try saying that quickly after you've had a pint of lager. So without further ado, let's get into it. The hook in the vise is a Hanak H330 barbless hook. This one's at size 8. It's finished in bronze and it's on a medium wire. Now the thread I'm going to be using is from Troutline. It's the Sumo thread at 50 denier. As you can see, it's a black thread, and the first thing I'm going to do is get plenty of wax onto the GSP, and then I'm going to catch in just in behind the eye, and I seem to have some bits and bobs from the previous fly on my bobbin, excuse me. So I'm going to come down. I'm not so worried about touching turns, try and keep it neat for the video as I can, but time's a factor with these flies. That sadly, most of the Orkney flies seem to take an age to tie, and that's why the filling of the box has taken some time, but there we go, it is what it is. I'm now going to bring my thread back up to where I want to start tying in my deer hair, and the reason for that is I'm going to tie in my wire rib at this point, and what I'm using is Semperfi wire. It's 0.2 millimeters and it's a red wire. Now I did have a bit, there it is, ready to go, and I'm going to catch that in. Now I'm going to use this as my mark, so when I'm bringing the body up, I know when I get to that wire part, that's where I'm going to finish my body. Now what I can do is, once I've got the wire partially tied in, I can use that like I would use a rat's tail, and I can just put my thread onto that rib and it will bring the thread down in nice touching turns, making the body nice and even. Come all the way down, right round the bend of the hook, a little further than I took my thread, and then I'm just going to bring this up just to park it for a second. So the body, now I'm using a dubbing that you probably can't get a hold of. I had this specially dubbed some years ago for a different pattern, and it's called Hybrid Bugs Life Dub, and it's a kind of a blend, I'll show you it now, of sort of greens, blues and reds, natural and synthetic fibres, and it just gives a really pleasant effect. Now if you can find someone that will do custom dubbing for you, I can't even give you the recipe, I'm afraid, but a green synthetic dubbing will do it. So I'm dubbing it quite hard with my fingers, my thumb and forefinger in my right hand, maybe just off camera at the moment. I'm dubbing it quite hard. I want the body fairly slim because I want to sit it in that surface film. Now, I've never been to Orkney, and I'm not quite sure what to expect, but late May there is probably a good chance that there'll be a few flies hatching off, so it's always best to be prepared. I'm going to bring that up. I can see the end of my wire where I'm using as a marker, and I'll just hold that in place now. So I'm going to get an extra couple of turns actually just there to make sure nothing backs up on me. I'm going to tilt my vise slightly, and then I'm going to grab my wire and start to bring that up the body. Now I want the wire to be pronounced, give that segmentation look to the fly that we're after here, and I'm going to bring it all the way up. Now when I get it up to where my rib finished, I can grab it with a couple of turns, a few turns in front, and then what I can do is, keeping tension on my thread, just helicopter that wire away. Now that's looking not too bad. Quite pleased with that. Some outliers there that I'm just going to trim away with my scissors. Now this fly will naturally, when it's fished, get scruffy, so let's try and keep this part nice and tidy. Bit of deer hair got caught up in there. So next thing is the deer hair. So I've got a lovely pelt of deer hair here, coastal deer hair, and what I want to do is take off a small amount. Now I'm not going to bother stacking this bit. So I've taken off a bit here, as you can see. What I will do though is definitely comb through it with my brush, just to get them, all the under fur, all the dead ends, just get that out. So I've got my deer hair here, it's unstacked. What I want to do is just measure it up. I don't want it protruding past the bend of the hook. That looks about right to me. So over the waste basket, I'm just going to trim the deer hair. Then before I come in to tie it in, I'm going to add more waxed to my thread. You can never have enough wax on your tying silk when you're working with deer hair. So I've dressed it up to the hook now. What I want to do is get a pinching loop over the top, like so, and then I'm going to come over again in a figure of 8 motion. Once I'm content it's sitting where I want it, I can cinch down on that if you like, and then I'm going to come through my cut ends like so, and that's looking fan-dabby-dozy. I'm trying to think what show that was on. Some kids show, seems to recall in a very old memory. So next thing I want to do is I'm going to add in some legs for my half hog, and what I'm using is some Vineyards pre-tied knots. They come on the stem and they're all tied in for you. So I'm going to take 3 for each side. Just grab the 3 off the other bit, put that to the side, and then what I can do is just line them up. I'm going to get them either side of the fly, make sure they're nice and even, like so. Bit fiddly this bit, but we'll get there in the end. And once I've got them either side, excuse my fingers, again I'm going to get over with a pinching loop, not coming down hard on it at the moment, because what I want to do is just adjust the legs slightly once I've got them tied in. Oh, that didn't work out. Okay, if it's not gone right, never be afraid to come back, and I could edit this part out actually, but I think it's important for people to see that regardless of how much experience you've got tying flies, mistakes happen. So luckily it's nothing too drastic here. I'm going to attempt to tie them in individually, maybe make a better job of it. Yeah, we're only human. Anyone that shows you perfection all the time is either very, very good or he's lying. And I would venture to say it's the latter. So again, I'll come in with my legs here. And I think that's looking a wee bit better. Let me have a look at your side. Yeah, much better, much better. It was definitely worth coming back there. Something's worth doing, it's worth doing right. So, we've caught that in. I'm going to grab another little pinch of my dubbing, and I can then dub that on. Don't need much here. And what I'm going to do is just pull everything back out the way, bring my thread up to where the deer hair is tied in. Just keep that nice and tight. Then we're going to come back to our deer hair and take another little piece to tie in. Now once again, you've got to take some care brushing out the dead ends. If you're going to stack it, and I intend to have a go at stacking it this time, if you've got the under fur and the dead ends in there, it's going to make stacking really difficult. Now, I'm going to be honest here. 8 out of 10 times of trying this, it's not stacked particularly well, and you know, there's one of the 8. So when this happens, what I do is gently shake out my dubbin, have a look at the tips just to see if I'm content that it's good enough for government work, and this one is. Then once I've got that, I can dress it up. That looks about right to me. I'm going to come in with my scissors over my wastebasket and trim away. Then I can again get a pinch and loop in. Once you're content it's sitting where it should, start to come down through the cut ends, and let's tidy up this front bit here. Now sometimes it splays up like this and some people like it like that. I like mine to lie a little flatter. So a little tip, when you're using deer hair, if you want it to lie a little flatter, simply grab the wing and break the deer hair, and that'll allow it to sit down and flat. So that's looking not too shabby. It's not meant to be a particularly tidy fly anyway, to be perfectly honest. So one last time I'm going to come to my dubbin. Now I'm going to take just a pinch. And what I want to do with my dubbin this time is just spread it out, so I've got a pinch of dubbin like this. I'm going to lay that to the side, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a dubbin loop by splitting my thread. So I'll come in behind the needle, should flatten it out nicely, and even though the 50 denier is quite thin, it is easy to work with in regards to splitting. So I'm going to trap that in, plenty of tension on my thread, and then I'm going to give it a spin up. So by the time you watch this video, I will be in hard preparation for my trip up to Orkney, and I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to it. It's been on Jock and I's minds for a couple of years actually. What could we do with a Kit Kat Cup that would make it a wee bit more interesting? And I think last year we were sitting on the banks of Barringsgale when we decided, you know what, Orkney would be a great option. So there we go. I've created my dubbin loop. I've thinned it out somewhat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in at the start, get a few turns in on the head, then as it slips over down towards the eye, I'm going to just use up the rest of the dubbin and then bring it back to the eye of the hook. Now once I've done that, then I'll simply come in with my whip finish tool. Oh, that's slipped over the head a couple of bits. Let's just get that back to where I want it. Grab your whip finish, and it's done it again. Just doesn't want me to finish this fly, does it? Get 3-turn whip finish in, and that's snapped away, which saves me a job. So the last job then is to grab your little Velcro brush or wire brush, whatever you happen to be using, dubbin brush, and we're going to tease out some of that hybrid dubbin, which looks absolutely stunning on this fly. And I'll show you the footprint in a sec as I'm turning it. You can see there what the fish are going to see, and it's not so much for me anyway, it's not so much about the colours or the dubbing. It's about the profile of the fly, the footprint, if you like, how it's going to look in the water. So the back end's going to drop down and below the surface film, and this top bit will get treated with Piscari X dry fly treatment, and the fly will be good to go and fish right in the surface film. Here's hoping we get a chance of some top of the water sport while we're in Orkney. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.